Good day everyone, I am Mark Evanas Sagrado and I'm going to discuss floating exchange rate.
What is floating exchange rate?
A floating exchange rate is a regime where the currency price of a nation is set by the forex market. It is in contrast to fixed exchange rate in which the government entirely determines the rate. So floating exchange rate is the currency price of a nation is set by the foreign exchange market instead of relying on their government decisions. In 1973, governments of the industrialized countries adopted floating exchange rates. It was a temporary emergency measure at first, but to put the fixed rate system back together again, the dollar exchange rates of an industrialized country have continued to float since then. How do you determine floating exchange rate? Floating exchange rate is usually determined by the open market or supply and demand. It only means that if the demand for the currency is high, the value will increase, and if the demand is low, the value will decrease or lower. Have you experienced na in this day the value of dollar is 50 to 51 pesos, that within the next day the value either become higher or lower? That is an example here in the Philippines. When the demand for the dollar currency is higher, the value of a dollar here is 51.25 pesos, but if the demand is low, the value could be 49 pesos below. The, the case for floating exchange rate rested on three major claims: monetary policy autonomy, symmetry, exchange rate as automatic stabilizer. Monetary policy autonomy is the independence of a country's central bank to affect its own money supply and conditions in its domestic economy. In other words, the country's central bank is free to control the money supply. Symmetry means balanced proportion under the system of floating exchange rates. The asymmetries would disappear and the United States would no longer be able to set the world monetary condition by itself. Exchange rate as automatic stabilizer, swift adjustment of market determined exchange rate would help countries maintain internal and external balance in the face of changes in aggregate demand. What is the advantage of floating exchange rate? Stability in the balance of payments, foreign exchange is unrestricted, market efficiency enhances, large foreign exchange reserve not required, import inflation is protected. What is the disadvantage of floating exchange rate? Exposed to the volatility of the exchange rate, restricted economic growth or recovery, existing issue may worsen. Although the floating exchange rate is not entirely determined by the government and central banks, they can intervene to keep the currency of the favorable price